Knock, knock. Hey, welcome. It's Proverbs chapter 13 today. We are going to take just a few minutes on this video to do something like we did yesterday, if you happen to watch. Had a lot of good responses about yesterday where I just said, hey, go for it. You listen to God, read Proverbs 12 and tell me what you hear. And a number of you texted me and told me about some good stuff. So I want to try that again and see if we can get a little bit more wisdom from you guys. So to do that, well, let me go back to this. Again, my concept, if this is the first time you're hearing this, that we have earthly wisdom, and you can listen to yesterday's message to get this unpacking of human wisdom. Divine wisdom, I think, is when we interact with the Holy Spirit, which is, a Christian has the Holy Spirit inside of them. And as I shared a few Proverbs before, is that the Holy Spirit that lives inside of us helped Solomon write the Proverbs. That's how he got so wise, because God gave him that gift of wisdom through the Holy Spirit. So let me just show you one verse that I like, and then hopefully it'll inspire you as you read. And again, you don't have to have, the Proverbs are filled with so much good wisdom. So if you just share one nugget with me, what I want to see is that you connect him with the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit lighten up one of these verses, and you go, oh my gosh, I've never seen this before. And it's really meaningful to you, but share it with us, because that's as I say, we're just one beggar showing the other beggar where the food is. And you go, hey, look at this. I found some good meat right here, good bread. Verse 14 in chapter 13 of Proverbs says this. And again, this is in the Passion Translation, so it may be a little different in your translation. Matter of fact, as I was reading it in the King James, it sounds wildly different. It'll start there saying something like, the law is perfect and is great for instruction. Here it says, when the lovers of God teach you truth, a fountain of life opens up within you, and the wise instruction will deliver you from the ways of death. It'll sound similar to the other ones, but here's what I want to keynote for you. The lovers of God, again, is what this translation is saying are the wise ones, those that lean into God and say, God, I want everything you've got. They're not just kind of floating on the outside. Okay, I hear God's over here and I'm a Christian, but I've got my life to live. And God's got, okay, but if you get this wisdom stuff, he's going to teach you the successful life. And again, that success doesn't always equal money and all that stuff, but it will mean you will probably have less pain, less problems, less troubles. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have to fight Satan to get to your successful life, because Satan loves to kill, steal, and destroy. So we are fighting an enemy. But the wisdom helps us to navigate around that. Just like that's why I think this wisdom stuff's really good, because our culture is so into chaos and confusion. And what the Lord told me, a word that I had never really used before, was cognitive dissonance, which is when you act one way and you believe another and you're just not really sure. Like James says in chapter 1, he says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's what's happening in our culture right now. We don't know what to believe, what to trust. And God's saying, hey, trust me. I created life. I know how life ought to work. So there you go. Proverbs 13, to me, it's wonderful, because it says, one, the lovers of God, those that are wise, lean into him, and they have the Holy Spirit inside of them, and they can pull out the treasures that are necessary for that day and for those around them. And it's a fountain of life that opens up within you. And I hear it as you teach the truth, as it says, to others, as you help others see this wisdom, like you're going to do for us. You're going to share that wisdom to us. We're going to get wiser. So I'm looking forward to what you have to share. So let this inspire you. And think of this as a good parent. This is why parents, or I think God put, parents over the children, so that they can teach the kids how to learn to walk in those wise ways. So I look forward to what you have to share. I'm going to put this on Facebook. I'm going to send this to some in email form. Send it back to me in email or text or whatever you want to do. I'm Bill Blaine, by the way, Newgates. And my role in life right now is to raise up true father leaders, men and women who can think with their head and their heart in alignment with him. And it kind of falls into the byline that Jesus said everything's wrapped up in humanity by doing this. Love the Lord your God with all your mind and all your heart and all your body, and your soul's a recipient of that. And he says, then you can go out and serve or love your neighbor, which might be your client or your customer or your actual next door neighbor, or your patient or your students or whatever as yourself. So anyway, dig into Proverbs 13, share what you got. Love to hear from you. Thanks.